Welcome to Think About It Reviews, where we're talking Spider-Man Homecoming. And this is directed by Jon Watts, who I've seen his previous works, Clown, Cop Car. Cop Car was actually a really good flick. But this is also starring Tom Holland, Marissa Tomei, Robert Downey Jr., Michael Keaton, Zendaya. I mean, there's a good cast. There's a good cast and core in this film. I am a huge Spider-Man fan. He's one of my favorite superheroes all time. Of course, he's right behind the big bad Punisher, but he's right there. I mean, he's one of my favorites. I loved the animated series. I thought I could never get that Spider-Man that I got from Spider-Man the animated series, but this is the closest I'm going to get. I think the cast is really good. I think Tom Holland knocks it out of the park. I think Michael Keaton is fantastic. There was some hints here and there of Beetlejuice, not gonna lie. I thought Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, she didn't really provide too much into the story. I noticed that they tried to make her a little bit older, which was like, wait a minute, now you guys are kind of like, reverting back to a little bit of old May, pretty much. Just stick with Tomei, stick with her look. Like, you don't have to revert back just because people are pissed and shit. I thought Robert Downey Jr. did not steal the show, which is great. I think this is Tom Holland's movie. I think he carried the movie so well. I think, hands down, this is the best movie version of Spider-Man we are ever going to get. I think Tom Holland nails it. He nails it when he's in a spider suit. He nails it when he's just Peter Parker. He has the balance. He has the wit. He has the smartness. He has that cool but geeky look to him. Like this, I mean, bravo Marvel, bravo for casting Tom Holland, because I was a little bit like, I don't know this kid. I don't know how much he's gonna bring. And then we saw Civil War, which I was like, I love it. I love it, even though we only had so much of it. And then now that we got a whole movie of it, I still love it. And I think going on to the future, Tom Holland wants to keep playing Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, 20 years down the line. I mean, we'll see how that changes, but I'm all for it. I'm game for it. And just to see, what I love about this film is just how Jon Watts, also the writers, and how Sony and Marvel have made him, Tom Holland's 21 years old in real life, but in this film he plays a teenager. He's not even a senior at this point. He's like, a sophomore, and I think Spider-Man 2 is going to be heading our way pretty damn soon. What I love about this film is that we're seeing the evolution of Peter Parker. We're seeing, it's not, the weight is on my shoulders all the time, like we got from Toby or Andrew, or everything I do is a mistake. Should I be Spider-Man? Should I not be Spider-Man? No. Peter in this film loves being Spider-Man. He is so ready to become an Avenger, and we see a lot of the events or where he was or what happened, especially with Michael Keaton's character Vulture, during the fight of the aliens in the first Avengers movie, and then we go to present time with Spider-Man and what he's dealing with. I mean, we don't get his backstory, we get hints of it. I mean, I thought that was a really cool thing, just to see Spider-Man, just a kid learning, having to learn lessons, and not being the straight-on adult that we see in all these other films. I mean, we did see Toby in high school, but that was just barely because they don't look like high schoolers, where here I felt like I was actually in a real high school. I felt like Peter was actually a young buck trying to, just enjoying being Spider-Man. And you see that the comedy that he delivers when he's in a spider suit is so awesome. It's so ripped out of the comic books. It's like, Deadpool, when he's joking around in that film, you're like, I can't believe they did it, and they did it in this film. Talking about the big baddie Vulture, Michael Keaton, I think he really did a great job. And it's kind of funny because you kind of tend to lean his way sometimes. I mean, he was kind of yes, you're a villain, but you make sense. You make sense of why you're doing a lot of these things. And I think Michael Keaton is a great casting. I mean, who other than the original movie version Batman, or Tim Burton's Batman, is going to come in here and start laying groundwork for a great villain. I think that as much as he was a great villain, he wasn't a too memorable villain. He's not the best Marvel villain. I think Loki still has that title. I still think that there's room for him to grow as a villain. There's room for him to do in the Spider Universe, but this is a great start for that villain. I really like the look of Vulture as well. I really like the scientific advantage of it. But there are things in this film. There is problems in this film. By all means. I mean, this is hands down one of my favorite. I gotta watch Spider-Man 2 again, but this is probably my favorite Spider-Man film. But I have to tell you right now that there is still some stupid stuff in here. Not stupid, but I want to say stupid. I want to say even like very problematic, the weighs the film down. It's just stuff where it's like a head scratcher, or you're saying, okay, how? Because Michael Keaton's crew is really a cleanup crew, and yet he's able to be a Tony Stark, or his crew's able to be a Tony Stark, and really take the alien, whatever the hell they were called from the first Avengers, alien technology, and morph it into weaponry. How is a cleanup crew able to do that? That's like one of the things where I'm just sitting there like, that doesn't happen. Like, and then they don't really like, no. Just no. Another thing too is I think the trailer did kind of reveal a lot of what happened in the film. I mean, but also there was a lot of things that you don't see in the trailer, which I really appreciate. There's one also reveal towards the end of the film where I'm really divided. I will save it for the spoilers, but I can't really say that I like it unless I had to see more of this, what may come in the sequel. But I'm really struggling with it because it's a really part of Spider-Man's lore, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the future Spider-Man films. The one thing I really absolutely love is Peter's suit. I mean, we know Iron Man, we know Robert Downey Jr. I call him Robert Downey Jr., but he's Tony Stark. Tony Stark gives him this suit, right? And the suit has so many capabilities. I love the suit. I think the suit and what the suit is able to do is absolutely genius. I am glad they included it in this film. I thought it was amazing. Fight sequences were good. I thought they were very imaginative. If I had to say about this film, it's very grounded. Okay, it's very grounded, realistic. There's a lot of realistic moments, even though I'm saying it's a Marvel film, it's a Spider-Man film. There's a lot of things that we go, okay, in one particular scene, or I'll just say, how is he able to web swing everywhere he goes? I'll just say that, But other than that, I really love what's going on in this film. I really love a lot of things moving to the future. I really love Tom Holland in it. I think, like I said, the action was great. I think the ending though was a little bit messy. I think the end conclusion was just a little jarring at that point. I was like, okay, that's the ending. That's it. I think it was kind of wrapped up really fast. I think he even kind of goes on a little bit too long. I think you could have condensed a lot of stuff, but overall I think the look of it, the feel of it, the humor of it, it was pretty much a teen comedy action film. It worked. It absolutely worked. I think some of the side characters were great, other than Flash Thompson. I did not like Flash Thompson in this film, but everything moving forward to the Spider-Man and future films, I am so looking forward to. I just hope that Sony is able to still collaborate with Marvel. I think they need to smarten up and say, you know what? Marvel, you're right. We still need you. We need you in the long haul. Let's do Spider-Man right. And if we're going to get a Tom Hardy villain of Venom, Tom Hardy Venom, bring his ass into the MCU, bring him into the Spider-Man universe, because I would love to see Tom Holland versus Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy is a beast, man, and Tom Holland's such a skinny, scrawny guy. But I would love to see that. So, Spider-Man Homecoming, it was a fantastic film. There is little things here and there that is not a huge problem. It was just kind of like, I wouldn't even say nitpicking. There is things that should be addressed, especially the timeline and all that stuff. But overall, I think it was just an awesome Spider-Man film. I'm super happy that this was very successful, and I'm super happy that this was just an overall fantastic film. And I can't wait for future Spider-Man films, and I can't wait to see what kind of villains they bring on to I want to see Kraven. I would love to see a Kraven film. I think that should be the next step in the next Spider-Man film. Bring on Kraven. Wasn't too much of a fan of Shocker in the film, but he's kind of a side character anyway. But if you're going to also have a Venom solo film, bring that Venom over and bring Carnage as well, because those are two villains that I think would really add to Tom Holland's Peter Parker character, because he's just a kid right now. those villains have to make him an adult, because that involves in killing spree, and just mind games. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it, and comment below. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. And like I'm saying, man, I highly recommend you check this out. Go check it out. And like I always say, grab a tick, grab a seat, make sure you got some good popcorn to eat. I'll see you at the cinema, guys.